Hey guys, it's me, Steve WB, and this is going to be an update on my new 3D printing, CNC, laser, Etsy selling, maybe make money from a hobby vlog. I got this idea from Technical Tinkerers. He likes to give a disclaimer in the beginning saying, I am not a professional, which I am not. I'm a self-educated, self-doer, DIY type person, and I just kind of figure things out as I go. So let me show you some of the stuff that we're currently working on. All right, you might have seen a short that I posted about this birdhouse I'm building. It did print in two different pieces. It is held together right here, or actually here's the seam right here. And I've got all these imperfections from this Pet G, and I had this same type of imperfection on both 3D printers. Now this was printed on the K1 Max, which can print PLA beautifully, but for some reason this keeps happening with the Pet G. Maybe I'm printing at the wrong temperature. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. Also, I've been printing all these up here. I've been kind of like building up a stock, and I put some of these on Etsy, not these because I don't have really rights to these. If these are just going to be more for like handouts. And I'll show you my first two products that I actually listed. This is one of them, and that's because this dragon's egg is a Creative Commons. As long as you give credit to the actual designer, it's okay to use this even commercially. And this is the one that's got the wooden coins on the inside for Easter egg hunts. So that was my first Etsy listing. Of course, I just finally got it up this morning, and I will tell you a little bit more about that experience here shortly. But you know, it's got a few clicks, but no buyers yet. Another thing, or the other thing that I listed on Etsy is the T-Rex skull. And I did go ahead and printed a stand, but I needed another top layer. It didn't come out so clean. So if I do sell this, I will actually take the time to print another one of these bases with more top layers, so they get a perfect stand. But I just listed that today too, and that's my second item on Etsy. So we'll see how it goes. I am designing some more products of my own. These are, it's hard to tell what they are right now, but those are keycaps for one of the fidgets that I designed. It was basically a copy of somebody else's design, but I made my own version, so I wasn't copying them directly. I mean, fidgets are a dime a dozen. Here's some clamps that I'm printing because I need to hang an insulation blanket up in the garage. And I am running a time lapse on that, so whenever I make another video about that, you'll be able to see the time lapse. This is my clamp failure, because to print 6 of these clamps, and I got these files off of Thingiverse, and I'm printing them at 200%, but it's a 13-hour print, and it was 6 hours in. And I didn't realize that on SnapMaker, if you're actually running the print from the computer, that the program has to stay running to complete the print. I was under the assumption that once you sent the print over to the printer, that it would just run. But there's 2 different ways of doing it, and I did it the wrong way. So I got halfway through with these and had to start over. But I still have some mini half-finished clamps. That'll be good for holding some stuff. And they have the little swivel feet here that clamp in so they get a good grip. I may have shown this already, but I was practicing some laser engraving. That's my little Colt man right there. And I also did some practice on a coaster. This is a slate coaster, so you can etch slate. And I've heard that if you get it really hot and you travel slow, it'll actually kind of bubble up and turn gold. So I'm going to try that next, because that would make for some really cool coasters. Notice that I'm trying on the back side of the coaster, because when I finalize the design for my house, I'll just flip them over and do the true design on the front. This is the little fidget that I designed. You actually just take keyboard switches and you install them. It holds 6 switches. And then I designed these caps and this body to hold it all. And it's just like a fidget for, you know, people with anxiety and fidgeters and people who have to relieve that tension or that stress, you can just fidget this thing around. You can see I'm going to have to glue these switches in. They do pop out on occasion. I would rather maybe shrink the tolerance slightly so I don't have to glue them in, and then, you know, they can be replaceable. But considering it's just a PLA body, I'll just glue them in. And I'm going to be selling these with a whole bunch of different colors and keycap types. Like I'm printing some keycaps that have 4 little spikes on top. So it's like a sensory thing. So when you squeeze it, you'll actually feel the spikes. I also have some with like card symbols, like the spades, the hearts, and the diamonds, and the clubs. And the keys will have that on there. So I'll probably do a black body with like red keys with the black, card symbol on there. I could do it pink and put letters on it that say like LOVEYOU. I'm just going to make a bunch of different keycaps and print them in a bunch of different colors. I'm even going to offer different like switches to have different, because basically different levels of click. You know that you have blues and greens, and they all make louder clicks or softer clicks. So I want to give everyone the option to pick their color, pick what kind of keycaps they want, and also the level of click that they want. And I'll probably sell these for about $9, which is a pretty good deal. And if your keyboard breaks and you need a switch, you can just pull one out of here, I guess. So other than that, that's pretty much what I've been doing this week on my projects. It was quite a bit of work to get the Etsy store set up. I mean, it wasn't a lot, but I was like halfway through setting it up last night, and it got to the part of the banking information, and I didn't want to go digging through the house and wake people up to try to find my routing number and account number. So I just stopped my registration right there, and I went to bed. I wake up, and I have an email from Etsy saying your account has been permanently suspended. You can no longer sell or purchase from Etsy with this account or any other account you create. And I was like, whoa, like, what happened? Why am I getting banned? I haven't even fully opened the store. Yes, I created a listing, but I didn't think it had gone live. And I was trying to figure out like what I did wrong, and I was checking their terms of service. And their terms of service said, well, in the about section of your store, you got to say who's making and who all's involved in your business. And when you list your products, if somebody else designed them, you got to say who designed them. And I'd put the Easter egg up there, and I was thinking like, well, maybe I didn't put who designed the egg, but I thought it would ask me if I'm ready to go live before I actually went live. So I didn't think anything was live. So I had to file an appeal. I filed an appeal saying, look, whatever I did wrong, I'll be more than happy to adjust or fix. I explained everything to them, that I didn't fully set my store up. I didn't know it was live, blah, blah, blah. And, it said when I sent it that it could take like up to 2 weeks before I got a response from Etsy. I was like, whatever, I'm not like in that big a rush. If it takes 2 weeks, it takes 2 weeks. I don't necessarily have to sell on Etsy. And I was thinking, like, if they're going to be this difficult, I'll just go to eBay or Facebook or somewhere else. But I was like, I still want to get unsuspended in case I just want to buy or potentially use it in the future. And so I sent the email off for the appeal, and they actually got back to me within an hour. And it was like, hey, we strongly apologize. Sometimes our system makes errors, and you did nothing wrong, basically, and you've been fully reinstated. And I was like, what a lot of stress over nothing, Not that losing your Etsy account is the end of the world, but, if I'd signed up for this account with just like some BS email with no intentions of ever using it, it probably would have been no big deal. But it's like I used my primary email. I was taking it seriously, and it was just kind of a slap in the face to get banned before you even got started. So anyway, it's all been cleared up. I hope that's not a sign of things to come. So I went ahead and I went through my listings, and I made sure that they were, if it wasn't my design, like the T-Rex skull and the egg, I didn't design those, but they are Creative Commons. They're pretty much everywhere. But I still, where I downloaded the file from, gave that designer credit, and I put a link of the license in the description so that could be easily seen. And I went through the about section on my store page and made sure that I put like, hey, I'm a one-man operation. I do this, I do that. This is how it's set up, you know, trying to follow all their guidelines. So fingers crossed, all will go well. So with all that being said, this is just a quick update of what's going on the new Steve WB channel and my new maker vlog, and you know what I'm going to be making and how I'm going to try to build a mini empire selling 3D prints and CNC and laser items. Make sure you just drop in the comments what you would like to see. If you want me to do like more things like how-tos. I really don't want to get into how-tos too much, but maybe just show more of the process of like me making stuff. I did the video on the ventilation, and I actually showed like me catting up the vent. I think that might be boring for some. So, you know, I might not do that anymore. I'm just kind of feeling it out to see what hits and what sticks and what flops. And the ventilation thing completely flopped, like 30 views. So I'm going to keep trying some different things. I still want to show like stuff before and after, like what the blank looks like, put it in, show the process of the laser working, talk about, you know, how much it cost me to make that product and what I'm selling it for. And then as sales start coming in, I'll start reporting on those and say, hey, I got my first sale, I got my second sale. You know, you can make this for this much and sell it for that much. And just kind of share with you guys my adventure in this new endeavor. And who knows, if it just completely, totally flops, maybe I'll go back to reviewing action cameras and microphones. Who knows? But until next time, I'm Steve WB, and I'm out.